sports. It's in the game.
Lewis, we never give up, we never give up. This is still on.
Yes! Get in there, Lewis, man. What an amazing drive, an amazing day. Get in there, Lewis. Awesome race, mate. What absolute fantastic race pace.
I'd like to say a big thank you.
Goed. Goed. Hé? Hé? Hallootje.
This next. No more. Simon says he sees one kid leave the building. Well, there's a good chance that somebody's still watching, but we can't stand here with our thumb up our ass waiting for this freaking thing to blow up. Jeez. Is a brand new fire trail. So I want you to find a path. Now half you can go over here, teachers will have them and line up against the wall. The other half will go in this direction. Please do it very quietly and very quickly, alright? Everybody else, baby. Teacher, come out your ass. That guy for the fire department.
Ook het te zien.
Nooit. De keizersnede heeft echt gezien. Stuk waren hier. Ja. Dat is een leuke ervaring. Ja. Ben gewoon een vrouw. Als het niet echt geslagen. Ik weet dat ik het aan kan. Ik ben ook een echte job voor onze bergbakken vroedvrouw Anne. Woensdag bij VTM 2. Just one turn, the train won't be. Greek Powerball. Smeuïge Griekse yoghurt vol proteïne met heerlijk. Met ingranen in eigen. Powerball. Vol proteïne, ongelooflijk. Tijd staat vol van het voordeel. Nu, Nescafé Barista ijskoffie, 2 voor maar €2,49. Maybe Mascara Sky High, tweede aan halve prijs. En veel oranje op de borstels, 1+1 gratis. Grijp wat.
Ziet en soep. De keuze, mini-prijzen. Genieten bij Ziet en Soep. Nu zit je gerust.
Just.be heeft een zomeractie voor die smelt van spannende verhalen en voor literaire stijgboomers. Lees nu graag allemaal Hugo of Story en krijg een Philips airfryer van €161,99. Kiosk.be/actie.
Jawel. Sorry, ik denk gewoon. Stel je tuintje terug.
Symptomen die ervaard worden in van maagzuur dat door de slokdarm loopt. Advies om antizuur aan te geven. Zuur en voor een snelle bescherming.
Wij zijn ook vooral hoe dat
niet. Advies om antizuur aan te geven. Een effectieve oplossing om
Welkom in Miami, waar de zon altijd schijnt en wij altijd klaarstaan voor trainingen, hier in Formule 1.
het is. €20.000 met de garantie tot 10 jaar. Zo, eerst kijken.
I told you about the new parts that have come in from the factory, right? Well, they're all fitted and good to go. I hope they didn't think.
Nintendo Switch 2.
Train op.
Gemotiveerd.
Zekerix speelt kort op de baan. Een zaak opstarten of je onderneming wil groeien? Altijd klaar. Wat creëer? Volle chemie van 37.
Ja, nou.
All clear the garage, please. Cars ready to leave.
Good, good range, joh.
Monotalco presenteert Monotalco Original. Voor het Alco Original, omarm het leven.
Ecco, verrassend lekker. Rio Mare, de echte smaak van Italië.
Het is eindelijk tijd voor Toei. Allerbeste last minutes boek je jouw vakantie altijd per jouw budget. En dat is tijdelijk nog voordelig. Krijg je met extra korting tot van €200 per boeking. Happy.
Toen was het 3. Hé? Wat? Ah, wel. Dat is wel 3 gewoon. Voor dan chicane.
Thanks. Maakt alles mogelijk. Don't you do things that I see as like just below the standard.
Oh, enough of my standards.
I don't love my standards. Why don't you want to base my wage? Laat je best doen. Je bent getrouwd in Australië. Van maandag tot donderdag bij VDM2.
Ook. Iedereen. Gereed. Die op mijn beschikbaar. Slechts samen.
Sort of a race. So when I see you go, I want you all to run like crazy. Oh, you follow the police officer and the fireman. You guys are my front runners, okay? Well,
No, Joe, we're gonna wait. The police still may get the code. know the drill.
Okay, that's the test over, but I'm afraid we didn't get what we needed. We're going to have to run it again.
Stick the show radio and pick that fucking code. And take this. You know how she was done? I would rather know how to shoot guns or race this motherfucker. So, get back on that full trigger. That's it. That's it? That's it. Don't shoot yourself. Hey, I'll be no hero. You find him, you come get me. Hey, Katja, was zit met die mensen? Ik wil ooit nog eens gaan. Dat is dikker. Allô, c'est. Mad. Give me the goddamn code. Oh! Sorry, I can't do that. I'm only the code right now. And your sick ass into the next room. Big shit, you got drunk. Sucked. Away from the drink. Oh shit, there's no more. Time to get Charlie up. Slow, Charles, not up. Give me another 30 seconds. Takes a minute 50 to turn in, Charlie. And last I looked, you weren't too light on your feet. Now move!
Oh my God! Christ, get on! Come on,
What's going on, won't you? Still have kids in the building. Oh, Charlie. Oh, they don't want you.
Moses left.
Trip. The plot comes dark and cleans. Just stand for it.
He was an asshole, you got it now. The entry is very important. With that, just the ability to record the message. Just big enough. The CIA, for too long, the West has conspired to steal the wealth of the world, consigning those of humanity to economic starvation. Today, it is that bank. In a few minutes, the contents of the Federal Reserve Bank, the gold you may commons of Lincoln, will be released by explosive across the bottom of the Long Island Sound. But I'll be vigilant and I invite you to come to the bottom. Oh, that's the idea. It's just seems as if they're living with. I'm seeing it in Portsmouth. All this got to do with what you look like. Right. And sat down on Irish, that's what talks about my window. I didn't even know that motherfucker. Yes, I never invited you to one shit. No, really, no, stop it, no, fancy little hot dog. Hey, fucking. Yeah, you fucking. Well, they're hey, fucking hey, all day long. I'm filled with that. Hold on, explode. That's Sam. The only thing better than blowing up $100 billion worth of gold. Like, wait. What about the other thing? You know, that you like to know some cop trick about handcuffs will get us out of there? Yeah. What's the black shit again? Are you strapping that racial shit? Are you a fucking locksmith or not? Yeah, I could do it if I had something to do with women. Which with that might work. Oh. Get ready, come on, ready? Ready? Move. Hey, I was just. That's all I got for this.
het. Hij doet het.
Jared McDonald's. Yes. Done. We're not hanging in there. Is Holly there? Or hold on. Look.
Carriere. Stop maar even opnieuw. Hier is het hier een soort heen. Iedereen. Hé? Shoptraining.
Hé? Ah, nee.
Everyone ready? Okay, let's go.
Jack, I'm not good. What? What? You're on hold. I'll call him back. You'll get over it. Like I said. Yes. Just one turn the train.
van de stad. Deze ga je vanaf 28.000 euro met de garantie. Maar steeds niveau. De partiele pootje. Zie bruid dus.
Ik sta miljonairs gezocht, want op vrijdag 14 juni is er een autojackpot van 3 miljoen. Auto, omdat het kan. Ah, ja, wat jij krijgt, hè? Oh, sorry. Ja.
Okay then, that's the end of the programme and plenty of useful data. Return to base when you can so we can go over it all.
Champion of the City of Steel! Well, alongside the classic
Może źle.
And only one guaranteed place in the quarterfinals. It's going to be an epic contest. Let's find out a little bit more about them. My name is Kinlan. I'm 22. I'm from Doncaster. I'm a traveller on the railway. Pretty much scraping from every stone, changing the rails. You need to be fit in order to put in a good shift. Oh my God, the corner! I train a couple round days on the gym. I would spend time with my family and my nephew. Luke is the reason I applied for this because I looked up to my uncle and I want him to have that same feeling, and I think this is the perfect show. It don't matter how big you are, it don't matter how strong you are, as long as you just give everything you've got, there's no limit to how far you can run with it. 8 miles and 32 before Leeds. Also the DJ producer, the tracks I want to play, making my dance,
Okay,
straight
take it
now.
easy on the car, we can't sustain this level of damage.
Surreal. that 20 odd years ago I saw my parents and my grandparents watching the gladiators, and then now I'm taking part. It's a dream come true.
We just broke that down. We just built from the first.
Please welcome Miles and Finley. Yeah, I've got my mum, dad, my grandparents, my sisters. Trouble tonight? Beautiful family over there, my mum and dad. Please give it up for Finley and Miles, everybody.
We've had to spend time repairing the damage to the car.
That's right. This comes from an era when you were judged not on how well you could bake or how you fared eating the private parts of a kangaroo, how long you could stand on the podium whilst being battered about the bonds by a bloke called Rhino with all the fluffy lollipop. At times, in many ways, it's time for duel. This is the first of 6 events. In duel, you must try and knock your opponent off their podium in just 30 seconds using that gigantic pugil stick. 10 points for the contender if they can knock the gladiator off, and 5 if they can just stay up on that podium.
Up first to the podium, it's Finley. Second one, Maxwell.
Elite sprinter, watching go all out right from the start. Meanwhile, 22-year-old Finley may be smaller, but he is strong, and this game's all about strength and stability. It's over to the referee team, led by former Premier League ref Mark Platberg, who's alongside assistant Sonia Magalona and Lee Phillips.
Right, the car's ready. Let's get it out there.
Taking some almighty blows there.
Figure it out, and normal. Figure it out, I had it in.
So, see as a contender, I knew he was going to get... I had a tactic in mind. Yeah? I wanted him to hit first, see how hard he could hit. And he hit me on my head like a big whale. I was getting a bit angry because I'm an angry guy, but then after the anger came out, the nitron explosive energy came out, and I think you got some good hard hits. But you were balanced, you were good. And I wish you all the best, mate.
Finley and Nitro, everybody!
Stone, miniature giant. Not sure I'd like to be on the receiving end of that. miles may be smaller, but his training in Thai boxing should help him with stability. Midnight Miles. Can't be left with the all. Seriously, I think you're back down, what? In one. Go. Try and it's actually right. Maybe on a date. Well, that's seriously, my main motivation tonight, but I was getting advice. I don't know what for. No, I don't let it do. Miles and turn! Staying neither Miles or Finley at any point. Let's hope that changes with the next event. Let's see who's taking on Homeland tonight.
Gary Olsen, I've captain 4, and I pulled from Berlin. Walker, consultant business, and fuel social fire, and fear of it. I did motocross and I was saving, and I quickly grew to love it. After motocross, I found that downhill mountain biking keeps me fit. Dude, in Canberra, 5 years, and it's absolutely surreal. Unfortunate if you're younger to actually really be on it, it's something.
My name is Natasha Lovins, I'm 41, I'm from Ipswich, Suffolk, and I work as a staff nurse in the school nursing. Hello there, it's Natasha calling from the school nursing. Well, I'm also a part-time personal trainer. What done? Did you just find your head?
Oh, just lap.
Please give it up for Tasha and Kerry, everybody. to survive there alone. So one.
That's one of our specialty. She's scared. She's scared.
Okay, test complete, and that was a really good job indeed. We got a lot of valuable information out of that. Well done. Car repairs have set us back a little.
auto's hebben geen trust issues. Onze betrouwbare snelladers zijn er voor jou. Zie je deze tanden? Ze zijn uniek en verdienen een unieke manier van poetsen. Poetsen met één enkele klik met Oral-B IO. Enkel deze ronde borstel, geïnspireerd door tandartsen, past zich aan de tanden aan en poetst grondiger dan gewone handtandenborstels. 100% doeltreffender voor beter beschermd tandvlees. Perfect poetsen begint bij Oral-B. Steer via wij Watch Fit for Pro. Morgen om de juiste weg te wijzen. Tot aan de top. Uw lange toer mag duren. Bij Watch Fit for Flow. Traction Active.
Zit in de nu. Het pad ontdek je op het Radio 2-kanaal van 4 Max. En om dat te vieren maken we de hele week radio van op Radio 2-kanaal.
Wij waren op het Radio 2-kanaal door heel Vlaanderen van in Volkslicht tot Zeebrugge.
En jij kan erbij zijn. Voor vanaf dinsdag alles op het Radio 2-kanaal op VRTX.
Ik ben verkeuren! Radio 2!
Dat voelt toch niet wel eens.
Zo en zo. Voor dat nu 32 even wet herinneren. Maar dan kom je niet zijn. Binnen. Laat nog maar. Hé. Binnen. Gewoon. Oh, jongen. Dat heb ik ook niet gedaan. Dagen. Ja. Bezorgd. Dit wordt doen.
Good.
Back to the bottom, it's F1 25, my team career mode. This is part number 12 today for the Italian Grand Prix and the debut for our new unlocked title sponsor livery. And maybe the livery will be running for the rest of this season at least. But last time out in the old livery, we were running so high and then it came crashing down immediately after the red flag, the rain causing havoc, and I had no chance. I got absolutely screwed by the AI. Plenty of mistakes in there, and it was another bit of pain at the end of a race. No, that's been too difficult. So from the British Grand Prix to the Belgian one, and this is maybe why. The reality is we are back down to the second worst team on the. Incredibly close, don't get me wrong. So there's still a chance of being able to, get the car up a bit higher than maybe it should be because things are so tight knit and situated in the races. But it's that opportunistic for AI to also outdo me when there's things like rain or when there's just. So it's been. This is the ebb and flow over season one. We ahead and unlock a new owner perk and get immediately on doing that training in the activity timeline. That was to do talks because that is also a massive part of this episode because end game talk. Some chins and button, but before we get on to that contract chat, going back to the performance of the car. Levels of upgrading from the AI. Red Bull doing this, trying to solve their car issues of the IRL 2025 season. They're now technically the best team on paper. Ferrari second, but we've seen that Red Bull can be quite a handful no matter where it stands in the R&D. Aaron continued to fumble a bit down to P4 of the R&D chart. Williams, Alpine, Aston, Haas all above us, and the V car just about closing up. So we need to continue to progress with the car. We've got upgrades on the way on the engine side of things, the chassis as well. The first tyre upgrade is going to be in time for the Italian Grand Prix. And of course, in the pipeline, if you did watch last episode, you'll know we have the aero breakthrough upgrade on the facility side of things. Next set of upgrades on the aero side, so that will mean every department of durability will have that next set of upgrades. We can actually do some work. Hop in there for a sec where basically we couldn't do any upgrades because we didn't actually have them available for the facilities. But the next upgrade I want to look at is going to mean but it's that upgrade that allows you to do fuel development. So right now we can do two developments at the same time, but they take up two separate. Whereas with the dual development upgrade, it means you can make both of them for both cars at the same time, and the other slot that we've already unlocked with almost have 4 upgrades, basically 4 parts being made. Cars simultaneously, and another thing that I've gone straight away and upgraded and bought back to management to allow us to build on engineering at the same time. That is going to pay big dividends because when we have enough money to do that, we then make 2 facility upgrades at the same time and none of this waiting around for one to come in. As we go to a dilemma about fitness, it will affect the focus of the drivers, but boost the loyalty. I reckon in the long term that will come back around to also help the drivers out, maybe. Actual improvement to this. So we're going to accept that. And I mentioned phase 2 of the engineering facility earlier. Well, with that aero breakthrough upgrade coming in, it is now going to unlock phase 2 for the first time with this pretty neat little animation as we zoom out and get a bigger picture of the engineering department, and it's almost like it's grown in size, basically. It's got bigger. So phase 2 is unlocked. So at some point, we can now buy that very upgrade, the dual development I just spoke about, and a whole host of other upgrades, as you mentioned. Actually, so much. There's even a phase 4 in the old mine. There was only 3 levels of facilities, whereas now we've got 4. But the work, then we get immediately mag reduction upgrade on the aero side of things. But for the Italian group, very good. It's going to drag that one. Speaking of the Italians, well, there is a certain Italian that I want to try and just suss out where his head's at, where his expectations to engage in combat. To my surprise, it's really not that bad. Engineering workforce is pretty large, but fan rating he only wants level 3, Antonelli does. Vehicle performance might be difficult for us to get by. There's already a 68% chance of signing. The salary's pretty tiny, 3.6 million. That's in comparison to Button's, over 20 million salary. Tramnet's, I think, 3 or 1.6, so Antonelli, not too bad. So if it really doesn't look like we're going to be able to sign Button, as I said, I really fancy maybe going for Antonelli. That's if Button doesn't want to sign. That's still my number 1 priority and desire, is to keep him on for 1 more season. I think for me, a great race again with. And then after that, I'd be satisfied that we've done a job well. At that point, then I'd be very happy to let it go, and we then focus on 2 junior drivers. And to that effect, we've stopped communication with. I just don't think we're going to go for him, and a bit of a funny glitch there with. Only we could sign 2 Antonellis. That'd be incredible. As we now get to the break, the summer break in the season, with that much time in the activity timeline. So skipping ahead, that's going to get some of the upgrades done. And thankfully, also we get Exo Tiger, that is, as the second spot. We'll get to that later. But first and foremost, here we are then. Jenson Button's end game. Final set of final time we'll see this cutscene with him to engage with him, get that contract to a more favourable place. So now our engineering workforce is down to 190, so that's very much possible for us. Fan rating 6 is still way out of the question, and performance target 4. Other things, there's a 7% chance of him signing now with a salary of down to 23.3 million. The bonus is now no longer, but you can see that actually with the end game talk bonus nicely. So there's no performance clause, the annual salary reduced by 5%, and the chance of success has been increased by. I'm actually quite confident that hopefully we can be 72% rather than out of it. People go for that, and I'm comfortable with the salary being 23. Already paying him 32 million over. It's just subtly been in the background there. The driver's salary every week is nearly 900k. We're already up that with such a deficit of salary, and for me, it means having there for the sake of the story, for what this team stands for. So that's why I'm keen to still go for him. Whereas for many of you, maybe financially that sounds ludicrous. And so to that effect, we go in to see the different counter offers. But to be honest, I think the original contract proposal after the end game talks with the left two living bumps and then the middle one, it's a much higher salary, and I'm kind of comfortable at what him to accept for an offer. So we're going to go ahead and send the contract, and it's going to be fingers crossed, basically. Okay, sent. Now we wait. We'll come back soon. Do tend to drag on. Let's keep it crossed and just focus on what we can control. I'll let you know if I hear anything. So I'm back basically within the episode. I think we should, because there's still plenty of time to go in the act until the Italian Grand Prix, being, this time of the break. You can see there's plenty of different activities and events that are happening, and we've got upgrades pending, so I don't think we will hear back at some point shortly. But as we go on through that time of year also where you're reviewing how things have been going, and that includes the cost cap.
Hey boss, just a reminder that we need to comply with the sports cost cap. We can spend, but only to a point. We'll need to keep abreast of our outgoings to ensure that we're within the rule. Or else we'll be in serious hot water and we'll suffer some big punishments. We'll be able to compete while staying legal. Take a
So as you can see, we're well within the cost cap. I already knew we were operating well below the overall cap, and you can see from to what we've spent so far, we've still got. I mean, look at that. That's just it's almost comical how low we are compared to the cost cap target. So yeah, I don't think we're going to be worrying about that until about season maybe 4, if that. I don't know. I genuinely don't think that's going to be a worry for us. But what is going to be a worry is this.
I'm afraid they were satisfied with the terms we sent over. Let us know if you want to go back in for them. Sure.
That is so unfortunate. That's not what I wanted to hear. We can go again and resend him a contract, I think, with a slightly higher salary. Is that? I mean, his expectations are going to be the exact same, of course, but yeah, slightly higher annual salary and then maybe a slightly higher bonus payment. And we're kind of hoping that's going to be enough to butter him up, but he's going to lose a chance. But I mean, let's see. We're going to send it again and see what he says. But we know that Anthony is there now, that he could be a possibility on the back burner in case re-signing. As you guys have said, there is a story there of him getting back. He's done what he wanted to, returning to F1, and maybe he's ready to just maybe just be there as a team advisor to the board of directors here at AAR, and that certainly would be something I would have to accept as a fair enough sort of way to go about things. But now our minds move towards the race at hand, the Italian Grand Prix, upgrades coming in, but there's also an aesthetic change to make to this car. As I mentioned at the start of the episode, we've actually unlocked a brand new title sponsor livery for the very first time in this game by just doing the diligent work and getting that reward. And we've had a lot of fun with this livery since the start of the game. But I think this new one may just be a strong contender for the livery we run for the rest of this first season. Because only is it a striking new look on the sides, with now space for a sponsor front and prominent on the side pods compared to the last one. That front end, you've got to admit, a Brawn GP vibe. Throw yellow in a kind of, ring line around the nose cone. But let's take you through my livery, because now we've had to do quite a lot of movement. But we can now have a big sponsor on the side pods. Slingshot now nice and prominent as they are on the halo. Now on the actual side pod itself, we've moved around some of the sponsors on the side of the chassis because of the design. On the inlet, it doesn't really work too well with sponsors there. On the nose cone, X-Forming now takes over the top of the chassis, so we've moved the slingshot down below. So we've now got 3 in a row on the nose. Looking even more realistic for the real F1 team. We've now got a sponsor on the flaps of the front wing. A couple of logos swapped out on the rear wing and enlarged because of the line on the end plates, and now the entire halo is in white, and so we've updated the slingshot logo and the others to match. So not only from the outside, especially from that front end, is it going to look more when we get into qualifying, it looks a little bit more like a Braun GP descent than before. And I reckon we stick with this one for the rest of season 1. But let me know your thoughts if you want me to maybe return to the original one, if you're not really vibing too much with this one. And then of course, a new car. Let's get it squally.
They call it the Temple of Speed, and the pilgrims have come to worship. It's all about the speed today. Qualifying awaits us. Welcome to Monza for the Italian Grand Prix.
Overcast and a bit wet and wild at the start of the Italian GP qualifying, but it's drying out, so you join us at the end of Q1. You can see everyone is getting us. We've only got 2.5 minutes to go, and everyone is on a new set of soft tyres. There have been some people that did go out for a banker lap on Inters, but it is dry enough now for the start. We're wasting no time. We're not going to stay behind people, and we're going to get them just so that we can make our own decision at the end of this outlap of where we want to be on track. Is maybe a cheeky little, long play slipstream, maybe quite important around here as it is. But now just getting past these cars that are wanting to go slow, and it gives us the choice. The choice I made was I actually fancied being back behind the Ferrari, maybe. As we know, we're not going to get held up by the Ferrari. That car will already be going for pole position, and I'd rather that than maybe Antonelli ahead of me, as we've seen Mercedes and Antonelli have struggled a little bit on that pace, and overall, I'm going to say the bet is Leclerc ahead of us. He's not going to be going slow, and we might just pick up a little long-range tow. It's going to be minuscule. In fact, in hindsight, probably should have gone a little bit earlier compared to Leclerc, just so we get closer to it and actually get a proper tow. But we made a bit of an action turn one there at time, as we went a bit deep. Obviously, grip is not fully up there, as the track is very green. It's been raining, it's washed away from pre-practice sections, and so the track doesn't feel at its fastest, and we are making action. Most of these corners going quite deep, so Team Travis though has gone quick as the ball, as the lap times are piling in, as everyone is going quicker and quicker. It may be a case of who's last on circuit as we can, oh my god, no. Oh no. What? Well. Race weekend, backdrop of in the middle of contract negotiations with Jenson Button. We've been knocked with Jenson 19. I'm in good company though. The fact that Max Verstappen, Max Verstappen, the championship leader, has been knocked out. That's pretty massive, and I feel a lot better about being knocked out because Antonelli's joined us, Piastri as well. So we've got some big names and good company here in the drop zone. So it wasn't just us that got called out of it, but really it was wherever you were on track, the two Williams up there, the Haas and Bev. And so, I mean, it's just one of those things. It's a changeable quality, and we've been massively caught out. And it's now just time to recover in the race. It's going to be the same for Max Verstappen. The championship leader has got it all to do to try and maintain his lead.
A difficult race awaits these drivers here in Monza, but glory awaits too at the Italian Grand Prix. So with the race not far away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. A fantastic effort from Charles Leclerc yesterday, and it's put him on pole. And it's Lewis Hamilton alongside. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Sainz, Norris, Alex Albon, and Tsunoda, Russell, Gasly, Fernando Alonso, and Liam Lawson, Behrman, Ocon, Lance Stroll, and Hadjar, Tramnitz, Bortoleto, Andrea Kimi Antonelli, and Jensen Button. Astrid, Verstappen, do it, and Nico Hulkenberg rounds off the grid. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track. And alongside me here today in the commentary box, Anthony Davidson. As many people expected, our 11th team have struggled a bit this season, but there is a light at the end of the wind tunnel, mate. And they'll get more time in that tunnel for next year.
Absolutely right, Crofty. It's almost like, think of it like this, a success tax. It's a nice problem to have, isn't it, really? But that's what the team are going to face moving forward. But look, they've shown their quality so far, and I'm sure even with that limited wind tunnel time, they'll be great. So from the back of the grid, I think we're going to need a bit of a different strategy in order to catapult ourselves up the order. Now, it is Monza. Typically, the one stop would be the alternative, but no, it looks like after most people, if what my strategy screen was, we start the mediums there, we go as long as we can, or dare to, go to the hards, and then see if we can. I suspect maybe a couple of people around us, like Antonelli and Verstappen, might be trying the same thing. Piastri might be doing it as well, but just the other way around. But I really do think the one stop for us today is the way to go to try and get up the order. I mean, Travnitz, to be fair, hasn't done much better. P15 ahead of us, so really the car struggled over one lap. So I think the only way we can make this a successful Grand Prix is by going a little bit different. And compared to any other circuit, you know, this place is a place where I think maybe try and make a one-stop work, even if no thing us it can work. The engineers, whatever in this team, I'm not saying it can work, it's not being tested. I think this place is our brand new unlocked title sponsor livery. Hopefully that's going to bring the good luck for this strategy as we go to 5 red lights. And the Italian Grand Prix is underway. The Tifosi will be loving that front row Ferrari lockout as it's a so-so getaway for us. A little bit of room on the right-hand side here to try and launch it down the inside of Portoletto. You've got to get Antonelli. Travnitz is somewhere there on the left of us. We go really wide into turn 2 just to give a massive amount of room to not get end plates or, you know, floors. Thankfully, Scathe ahead of Adjar in P14. Verstappen also making all the places up. He's up to P16 then. Both of us. You know what? Maybe a strategy at some point in this first stint. See where Verstappen is. He's in a much quicker car. The strategy play may be letting him by, making it easy for him to overtake. To follow him through as he cuts through this bit. He's the champion leader. He's expecting to make a comeback. As we see Sainz versus the McLaren there, I think that was. And Bernard's going real slow ahead of us. Lawson ahead of this train. I think Fernando, so he's slowed everyone up there. Stroll in the train back ahead, and then behind it's Adjar, Verstappen, Antonelli and Travnitz just behind, and ahead it's Hamilton, 1 second the gap to Leclerc. Sonoda though is right up there, so this is a bit of a shame. It should be Verstappen causing Ferrari a headache. It's Sonoda instead, and meanwhile it's 3 wide between McLaren, Williams and Mercedes. Sainz versus Norris versus Russell as we try and size up a move on Ollie Vernon. Coming in down the inside of the Haas, he just got squeezed out by Lance Stroll, and they're going to find the room on the inside of the long subtle curve. We're going to go to the inside and make the double bars because we basically have to defend Vernon still, and we caught Stroll. That was a very crucial overtake. Just to give us just a bit of breathing room for the engine temperatures, also settling into a rhythm here and giving us a chance to just calm a little bit and then re-engage with the fight ahead, because here at Monza, more so than even in real life, here in the game, it is just a slip. And this is the only place I will not critique RS train, because it happens. It's happened on every F1 game, because just with the nature of the slip being so crazy, Monza is back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. At least they do swap. They just stay in the train. They actually swap all the time. Case in point, here we go. Ferrari making a swap. Leclerc overtakes Hamilton for the lead of this race. I suspect it's we won't have to wait too long for Hamilton to come back at Leclerc, as Stroll come get me a little bit as we gain on his teammate Fernando Alonso. He's just been overtaken by Lawson. Big snap of focus here though, in the middle of that corner. And I'm trying to learn from maybe my mistakes in Spa and not overusing now maybe. So I'm trying to learn a bit of restraint, but that is meaning that we are getting overtaken then. A lot of the time the AI, they're just, I don't know, they're just so perfect at knowing when to deploy. I don't know if they just do it in little spurt everywhere, but they just always have that extra when you're not on battery and you're a medium. Stroll to us. There's plenty of fighting still going on ahead in the top 10. Swapping going on for Ocon and Gasly. Albon versus Norris as Sainz and Russell have pulled massively away. What is this? McLaren, they're absolutely falling apart. Piastri's second last, and Lando's just fallen down 4 positions in this race. If they're not careful, they're not even going to be P2 in the construction. I mean, obviously at this point, Lando's probably forgetting about the driver's title bike, and the Verstappen leads and the Ferraris are looking as Behrman repasses us, Hadjar as well. We are starting to go backwards a little bit. It's feeling all too familiar by the ending of the Belgian Grand Prix. We come back at Hadjar and Behrman for the double pass. Under braking we're pretty good, but we just don't have that edge in a straight line, and I'm really trying not to overuse the battery, just so we have something later on. Now watch Verstappen looking to make 1-2 passes. He's done it. It's a great little overtake there, and he's up into P14. And I celebrate that so much because I feel like in the past we didn't see us making those sort of overtakes. Like in real life, you'd expect Verstappen to make a double pass like that. But on last year's, how often do we see quicker cars just get stuck in a train for the entire race, whereas now you're seeing someone like Max in the Red Bull make those 2 quick passes. He's going to make the move on us as well, up to P14, because I don't put up a fight on purpose. We're actually none ERS, because now I'm going to try and deploy that tactic. I'm going to try and follow Verstappen through, get that DRS off him, and not necessarily, completely everyone he's overtaking, but if we can stay 1 second.
Auto's vinden dat worden onze laatste scherm. Of is het Spaans? Top, ik top. Heel erg volgens me denkje. Wat is de beste kleine draait om te maken? Is Spaans. Dan laten we het 100% natuurlijk. Maak je het voor. Maken. Om de zaak te denken, heb ik zelfs uit maken. Snap je?
Vraag, zelfs de heel ingewikkelde, gaan wij de studies van onze kinderen kunnen vertalen?
Ik ben dat permitteren.
De vraag stelt, kom ons te uur stellen. Goed omringd.
Pace should be decent, even as the tyre wear starts to kick in on the left hand side. You can see that tyre icon is brick orange, which means we're feeling the tyre wear. Thank God I didn't come in on lap 9 because Tramnitz is coming in. My team want me to come in on this lap, but I am adamant that we should really try and aim to stay out as long as Verstappen as we close up now. So Verstappen making a move on Albon. We're going to catch Lawson unawares here and the battery in this case to get just so we can see in Verstappen's DRS as he couldn't quite make the pass on Albon, surprisingly, and as the tyre icon now, by the way, as we make the move on the V-car, is brick red. That's a little bit concerning. The tyre wear is astronomically high now, it must be, on the right-hand side. I didn't look at the heads-up display until that moment there, and the 80% tyre wear on the rear left, and still we won't come in. A couple of those guys that are coming in now, they've come off hard, and I'm continuing on medium. Verstappen and Antonelli, I might add, because now, lap 11, this is the time to come in. The tyres are way too worn. I'm now out of DRS of Verstappen, and Antonelli is only just behind me, but really well, I think. You know, looking at that tyre wear, I've done well to only be 1.5 seconds behind Verstappen in a red Bull. Antonelli comes in as well. So, as I said, I think Verstappen, me and Antonelli, three of us, on the back of the grid, us three are thinking the same thing. Going long, going on to hards, and trying the one stop, which is pretty damn cool. You know, very good company to have, I must say, in a race like this to try that. And it's an excellent pit stop from the crew for once. We've jumped Red Bull in the pits. How about that? We've come out ahead of Verstappen then. That's worked out a treat. And now we're going to the end of the Grand Prix on this set of hards. Trap mix almost goes round the outside and overtakes Verstappen into turn 1 and gets the undercut going. I was cheering him on. Annoyingly, Verstappen is going to remain in P15 and will in fact then overtake me. And again, we don't make it difficult because the game plan is basically the same that bursted. You know, I will not mind not being ahead of Verstappen if it means I could just go in formation with Verstappen and Antonelli behind me and catapult up the order, because really most of this group before I pit off mediums. So I think we could be in for not only some big points, but not the car. But to my surprise, Verstappen, he overtook Lawson, but Lawson's come back at Verstappen. This is juicy. A Red Bull teammate, back round the outside of the more senior Red Bull team at Parabolica. The home hero, Antonelli, right behind me, and we're not going to make a fuss on Antonelli either, because I thought, okay, if he's right there, maybe we have to. Bert may have not had the pace this season. Us most circuits, but low miles. Antonelli showing that maybe he just doesn't have that final bit of experience, because he just gets snapping there into a Ascari and we get him again. I'm actually going to go ahead and overtake Verstappen, because Lawson us being Max, me and Kimmy, Lawson the mediums, he is waiting this game plan. Kind of need to get him out. So we're going to go and try and overtake Lawson and try and maybe just defend him at the very next corner a little bit more than you would expect, just to try and get him out of the way so that we can still deploy this tactic of staying in a DRS little pack with Max, with Antonelli, because genuinely this V-car is slowing us down, I think, and it's only because he's on medium, so we're going to press overtake. A little bit of battery, but we won't need a bit with the DRS. But all squeezed to the inside, and that has just invited Verstappen through. We then go through to Parabolica, and Verstappen will overtake us. We're then going to try and tuck in, but then defend Lawson as well, because he'll go for the move. Go defensive there with Lawson and try and take him wide, and invite Antonelli to then make the overtake. So if you get the Italian, then we'll be all good. If we're giving each other DRS basically, and Antonelli is sticking to the plan here. Yeah, it's almost like all three of us have radio communication, honestly. It's been a slick operation, Verstappen, ourselves and Antonelli, and we're now getting those free positions. Look at those people in the pits. We're now into the points for the first time properly, because we're going to the end now, 10 laps to go. So this is now the minimum today, P10 you would say, and there's going to come in. But Leclerc's made that second stop, and it's on Verstappen. So Ferrari, at least with Leclerc, won't have to worry about traffic. With Hamilton, though, I don't know what's happened, but Lewis is behind us. Leclerc leads, having made a second stop. Then us driving his button, Antonelli ahead of Hamilton and Tsunoda. So maybe Tsunoda and Hamilton were fighting each other too much before that second stop. And so Leclerc, he's set for a very dominant race win, you would say, on home soil. Hamilton and Tsunoda with work to do. Sainz, Hulkenberg, Sauber, Gasly and Ocon ran in the top 10. Kramnitz down in P18 on the 2 stop. Why we're doing the 1 stop to jump up, and then this is just sad. This is just getting even more sad. Piastri's last. The McLaren, what is this game doing, Piastri, honestly? I mean, McLaren as a team in this season, I don't know about your guys' saves, but McLaren are absolutely throwing what a good car they had away. Lando's running P11 here, Piastri's last. I mean, it's absolute capitulation for the reigning Constructors champions coming into the 2025 season, as there's lots of fighting going on 3 abreast between Merck, Ferrari and Red Bull, and Kimi Antonelli. He is doing myself and Max a favour here, because he has Hamilton and Tsunoda, and he's doing, well, it's more so he's doing me a favour, because I think Max will be fine going to the end in P2. Now that I noticed, we're running in a podium position right now, and look at the job Kimi is doing. It's almost like he's auditioning to actually get signed by the team, because he just put in a shift, because the back went for 2 seconds. To whoever was behind us. It's now Hamilton, but he has held up Hamilton by 2 seconds then. Hold up Tsunoda a little bit longer, but now Hamilton has got free air to chase this down. The gap is down to 3.9. So the question is Hamilton going to gain on us? He's now 2.6 seconds behind us, but Tsunoda all of a sudden is coming through to be that first car to attack yours truly, and so that might just hold him up more, as Sainz has overtaken Antonelli. Unfortunately for the home hero, he's down to P7, and the Williams is cooking once again in P6. Our focus now goes to Tsunoda maybe, as the car chasing us down.
It's been an issue. We're currently investigating.
Okay, we've got a team radio about a car issue. Now, in the past, that has been an ERS failure. When Mark has given us that same exact radio message, that has been a total ERS failure, but for only that. But annoyingly, if the ERS goes for 2 laps, that's game over for us. Hamilton is now 1.5 behind. He's just overtaken Tsunoda. I think we're about to lose our podium, you know.
Okay, mechanical for a safe spot to retire. Sorry about that, mate. We need to retire as soon as possible.
Oh, there's so much more than a podium we're about to lose. We've lost the entire race. No! Oh, F1. F1 is a cruel mistress. It is a first engine failure of the entire career series, to be fair. We were maybe over. We haven't had one so far as a new team. I want to point out, this is a bit of a comical way to end our race, is we took Tsunoda and Sainz's front wing out. So I think we just helped Antonelli get a P4 then. No points.
Oh my God. Charles Leclerc, what a time, what a victory. He wins.
To come here and take victory as a team today on the home soil was so important. You can see how much it means to them. The drivers there doing their part. The team strategy was perfect as well. And the fans really embraced that. What a great atmosphere we had here today. Well, it's a massive win for Leclerc. It's the home race win at Monza, just as he did in 2024. That's quite crazy. Hamilton, he won back-to-back British Grand Prix, 2024 to the in-game 2025 one here in this. Leclerc's just done that with the Italian Grand Prix, the Ferrari's home race, and that makes it 3 Ferrari wins in a row, as we are still only 9 points behind Williams, because of Sainz's front wing damage post my retirement. Williams didn't score, actually lose that much in the Constructors, but we're now in an era-defining rivalry with Williams, which is quite surprising. So they've really tweaked the rivalry system to really... I suppose it is kind of a new era for Williams being actually competitive again. It's a new era for us in the sport, so I kind of get it. Era-defining, it seems a little bit, early, but I kind of also get it, so that's quite kind of cool. But we are losing that right now, and that means a lot of fan rating. So I want to try my hardest to get that. Because that would mean a lot of fan rating. And speaking of fan rating, we lose fan bonuses because of that DNF. We've lost the perks of extra secondary sponsor income and the extra perception with drivers. I really hope that doesn't affect the secondary contract offer. We really hope not, but that would be just such a stab in the heart, giving him that second offer, and then we come to the next Grand Prix and a DNF in our car. Oh my God, this could be quite a big episode then for that situation. Who knows? Guys, it's heartbreaking, but that is Formula One. It happens. If you have enjoyed it nonetheless, hit the like button. Let me know what you thought of the cosplay of your anti, then do get subscribed for weekly Formula One content. See you guys next time. Goodbye.
Ja, nog. Hoi.
Welkom terug in Miami en welkom bij de kwalificatie. Alleen rauwe snelheid zal deze coureurs vandaag scheiden. Maar de vraag is, wie heeft wat nodig is om de pole position te behalen?
Zal we even proberen. Hey? Ja, nou.
50,000. Tot aan de top. Dan het over de video. Bij wat ik voor het
The supreme chicken and bacon, the supreme chicken and bacon, the chicken, bacon, supreme, gewoon gesloten, wat
Mocht je slap.
Nou wat, onze klik, onze smaak.
Mocht je slap.
Take it easy to start with, the track's very wet. Pushed down to P19, I'm afraid. And we've been pushed down to P20. wind's easing off a bit, but the track is still going to be wet for a while. Be careful.
Hey. Huh? Uh-huh. Op 5 jaar per halve kilo. Frente Vendering. Fish.
Intermediate tyres are your best bet in the current conditions.
Uh-huh. Wat je hebt, roeit. Roeit natuurlijk. Dat is net houdt hij op. Approach to the door. Dicht ik zie dan. Nou, toen wordt nog wat. Hé? Nou, 3,5 minuut. Nee? Ik vind het al hier. Goed. De wind afdringen. Die dingen waren wat heerlijk, zeg je. Hé? Wat? 3. Hé?
Okay, that's all the checks complete. We're ready to go.
Oh.
Right, that's us pushed down into P15. And that's the 30 seconds left in the session.
Stereotypemeubelen. Dat is geen dingenstijl. Het gewoon goed. Dat is vol buiten plezier. Nu vergrootingen tot 50% ontuinmeubelen. Stereo. Buiten.
En samen kampioen wordt gezien in de spieren. Maar jongen onderhouden. Wat? Nee. Ik heb niet goed, ja. Ik heb groei. Hoe en zo er mee weer. Doei.
Dieren. Bescherm hen met een gepaste behandeling. Vraag raad aan je dierenarts.
All set, we're ready to go, so let's get the car out onto the track.
Stelt elke vraag, zelfs de heel ingewikkelde, gaan met de studies van onze kinderen kunnen. Permitteren. Geweld, kom ons in rust. U bent goed op.
Even. Ik wil meer bovenrichting exponeren.